Complementary angles. You know it's complementary angles because on the agenda it said, what are complementary angles? So you already know going into this, Nicole, that we're talking about complementary angles. Evan, you need something? Okay. Complementary angles. Does anybody know what complementary angles are? All right. So, let's define it. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. Okay? Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. What does 90 degrees look like?
Right angle.
Right angle, like a little square. So, like an L. Like the corner of your paper. All that is complementary angles. If you have one angle, okay, then you have this. This is called a right angle, right? But if you have very similar a right angle, but it's cut into two angles, angle A and angle B. If you have two angles that make up a 90-degree angle, this is called complementary. So angle A plus angle B is equal to 90 degrees. All right? So this is what we call complementary angles when you have two angles that add up to 90 degrees. This is what we call complementary angles. Okay? Complementary is a sum of 90 degrees. A sum of 90 degrees. Okay? So let's just do some simple problems. They either tell you they're complementary or they show you they're complementary. They show you it's complementary by drawing the little 90-degree angle. Fancy X, let's say 36 degrees. Okay? So you have this angle that has an unknown value of X that you're writing down because everybody's writing this down. There is no choice. Everybody writes it down. And then 36. So, what do? I know that angle X plus angle 36 degrees, is equal to 90 degrees. So we solve an equation. Smelly, do I have to do this? Yes. Why? Because I know what's going to come up in a second, and we need this basic format to help us in future problems. What's 90 minus 36? 54? Yep. This becomes an 8. That becomes a 10. 54 degrees. So angle X is equal to 54 degrees. No. Subtract.
Well, didn't you just do 90 minus 36 in the beginning?
Because you need to set up an equation because this is level 0.000000 negative 1. When it what? Are you sure? Are you sure?
0.00 negative 1?
You mean that easy. When they become a little bit harder, you're going to rely on setting them up this way. Trust me. Trust me. All right, let's do another easy one, and then we'll move on to the harder ones. Oh, no, it's facing the other way. There must be something different. There's nothing different. Write this down. What? What's my equation?
X plus 78 degrees equals 90 degrees.
I know it seems like, why am I doing this? Trust me. We're going to deal with some harder problems in a second. That you're going to be like, oh, I see. Minus 78, minus 78. So x is equal to, you borrow. Don't mess up on the borrowing, please. This is easy. Don't mess it up with simple arithmetic mistakes. 12? All right. So this is level. Wait, decimal 0, 0, 0, 0, -1. Okay. I just embedded in a number. So this is level really easy. Okay. Now let's do level 1. This will be level 1. 25.
Is it just like infinite zeros, so you just round down to -1? Yeah. Yeah, I see. I see what you're doing.
I like it. Now, even though it looks like it's, oh, Miss Amelia, it just looks like it's 45 degrees, right? You just split it in half. I just do that just by, I do that. You can't measure it. So let's say this is x minus 15, and this is 25 degrees. Some kids, what they'll do, funny kids, you know? Sometimes kids are funny. They will take a protractor and they'll try to measure this. They'll try to protract. I'm like, okay, well, because they don't want to do the math, so they try to measure it. I'm like, but wait, we didn't measure 25 degrees. We just drew it out. So if you didn't draw it, like, you can't use the protractor to measure it. Some kids are like, oh, I don't want to do the math, Miss Amelia. Can I just use a protractor? We didn't use a protractor to draw it at the beginning, so you can't. All right, so what equation do we write down?
X minus 50 equals 20 plus 25 equals 90.
Very good. These two together make what? 90 degrees, right? These two together make 90 degrees. All of a sudden now I just added a minus 15. So we're making it harder.
How is this step 1?
Because
There's 20.
this is step 0, because it's super easy. All you're doing, yes, is basically subtracting. And the reason I had you write it as an equation, well, because I knew this was coming. And this one's just a little bit harder, but not very, by a lot. Not by a lot. Okay, we draw our bars. There's 2 ways to do this. We're solving for x. There's 2 ways to do this. One way is to combine these two first and then move it to the other side. The other way is a little bit longer, but might be easier for some of you. So for those of you who want to combine, combine. For those of you who want to do it the long way, stick with me. So I'm going to move this one first. So right here it says plus 25. So what's the opposite of plus 25? So I'm going to do minus 25, minus 25. 90 minus 25. 65 is equal to, I just got rid of this part. I still have to deal with this part. So I still have x minus 15 equals 65. All right, how do I get rid of the minus 15? Plus 15 plus 15. X equals? Okay. There's a couple ways you could have done this, even from the very beginning, which you'll discover and you'll use.
Miss Amelia,
Yes.
if you add negative 15 plus 25, do you have to do that to the other side?
Yeah, so for those of you who did it the other way, here, you would combine these two, and you get what? 10. So you have x plus 10 equals 90 degrees. But I still don't have x by itself. I just combine these two numbers. So now I'm going to subtract 10, I get x equals 80. So, huh?
Isn't that easier?
Yeah, but some kids here, they'll make it 40 because they don't see that minus. So that's why I'm like, okay, let me just show you each step one at a time. If those of you can do this, do it. But I sense that a lot of kids would tell me this is 40. So, as more comfortable you feel with these, and you want to try putting these together, feel free to do so and go like, oh, I got it right, I'm good, or ooh, I got it wrong, let me go back. All right, let's stick with another. Write it down. Do the math. All right, what's my equation?
5x plus 40 equals 90.
Mm-hmm. And I showed you how to solve these equations back in like December. You're still going to use them. You're going to use them a lot in 8th grade and so on and so forth. So you need to make sure you know how to I call them draw the bars situations. Okay, which number do I move first, the 5 or the 40? 50 is equal to 5x. How do I move the 5? Divide by 5, divide by 5. X equals 10. All right. That's what x equals. It's not what the angle equals. If I wanted to know what the angle equals, I would plug it back in or just subtract. So the angle is 50 degrees. X is 10. So you got to figure out, what are they asking me? Are they asking me for x, or are they asking me for the angle? Or both? Are we okay? Uno más. Let's see. What's my equation?
You didn't put the degrees sign.
When little more take that back and get to an answer?
Yeah.
No, but like say, like you know how in the other ones you would say if you don't put this,
Yeah.
you would immediately.
No. I might change my mind by Friday, but not today.
X plus 20 plus 37.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you, I'm just gonna add it then.
Yeah, this one would be easier just to add these two, right? The other one I hesitate because there's a minus, and some of you might like, oh, what did I do with that? And it's like, oh, well, subtract. So I'm going to put these two together and get 57 plus x equals 90. Then minus 57 minus 57. X equals, okay, so this becomes an 8, that becomes a 10, so 33. Easy? I mean, it's basic, like adding and subtracting. There is a level 2, but we'll do level 2 tomorrow. Let me double check. Are we okay with these, or are we totally lost? Because I'm sure you all can do number 5.
No, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
Or isn't that division? Isn't that division?
So what would you do?
I don't know.
Yeah, get it together. That's fine. You sounded like yourself? Oh, yes. Okay. You're different.
Oh, they're different. They're all different?
You should have 2 pages. I would hope the first person in each row realized, like, oh, she has 2 packets, 2 pages to give out. Oh, look, they look totally different.
They do. One of them has lines in the side and the other.
We play with it. Rocky gets it after school. It's Rocky's, if I see it. All right. So you should have these 2 worksheets. The first person in each row did their job. And the person in front of you did their job. And the person in front of you did their job. Extra? All right, give it to Luisa. Luisa will give it to me. All right. Thank you. So, 2 different ones. Okay, let's focus. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this one that has the answers, Jaylene, on this side, this is level 1. This is level 1 worksheet. Front and back is just simple subtraction. Super easy. This is level 1. Then this one, this is level 1. I mean, this is like level 5,000. Okay? Oh, sorry. Yes, level 25. No, yeah. I don't know. We're going to take today and tomorrow. You guys, let's do the easy ones first. Let's just practice these. I think this should take you maybe like 5 minutes, front and back. Level 1.
I put level 5,000.
Okay.
No, you have to put level .000000000 -1.
Okay. Hey, please. I would love that. Okay. So, Eddie, you need to be on task, which means this paper is in front of you, you're writing this down, and you're beginning to work. You're not on the right sheet. That's how I know you're off task. What?
Yeah.
Yes. I like to use X. They like to use the letter A. You know. Be very careful when you borrow.
Are we allowed to put 90 minus 63 on here so that we don't have to write like A equals plus 63?
You mean the way I'm doing it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing it this way. Doesn't seem to take very much effort. Maybe just on the front. How about that? I will compromise. Someone 6. We're good?